So, the fourth nakshatra, counting from Kritika, and the uh, sixth nakshatra, counting from Ashvini, is Ardra, from 6 degrees and 40 minutes of Gemini to 20 degrees of Gemini. And this is a notoriously difficult nakshatra. And Rahu will be transiting here starting next month in late September or early October. I'd have to look it up exactly, but in maybe even in as little as 3 weeks, Rahu will begin to transit Ardra. Rahu has been in Punarvasu. Sometimes a negative and a negative can equal a positive, but I don't know if that's going to be the case in this instance. Ardra's planetary ruler is Rahu. And the meaning of Ardra is the moist one, and its symbol is a teardrop. Its Shakti is the power of effort, Yatna Shakti. Its basis above is to search, its basis below is to reach its goal, and its desire is to gain lordship over the animals. This nakshatra can be great for getting results of sadhana, but it is in many respects a very difficult energy to deal with. Its deity is Rudra, who is the ancient Vedic form of Lord Shiva and the howling god of storms. Rudra is formed from the collective wrath of the other deities who are upset with Brahma for raping his daughter. So he's a being kind of born of pure wrath, and once he's formed and begins to attack Brahma at the request of the other deities, they then realize in horror that they need the creator, and so they then banish Rudra, and so then he becomes this howling outsider who lives in the forest, and he has to fight to get his portion of the Vedic offerings. And when they eventually do decide to give him a portion of the Vedic offerings, he gets the leftovers. He gets whatever's broken or fallen on the ground. Rudra can be incredibly generous and bountiful. They say Lord Shiva gives unqualified grace, other deities you have to do something for, but Lord Shiva, being an outsider, understands outsiderness and can give unqualified grace. But he also has this fury and wrath and kind of force to him, rules storms and all kinds of weather like that can make Rudra a very scary deity, and many people prefer to bypass dealing with Rudra altogether on their goal, on their spiritual path to moksha. So these themes of deep grief and deep rage go along with Rudra. The other story that goes along with this nakshatra is that when Brahma created the universe, he went to Lord Shiva and said, "I'm going to create the universe," and Lord Shiva told him not to do it. It was a bad idea, and he did it anyway. And then he went and got Lord Shiva out of meditation, and when Lord Shiva, he was completely proud of the magnificence of the creation, and Lord Shiva immediately began to cry because he understood how much all sentient beings would suffer, and his tears formed Rudraksha seeds. And so people wear those in part to generate compassion within themselves. Rudra is also the greatest doctor in the universe, so this nakshatra is very affiliated with becoming a master of plant healing. He's a hunter. He rules over ghosts and graveyards. Lord Shiva is the lord of the Ganas. Lord Shiva obviously is the lord of destruction, carries away everything at the end of time, and he has a certain unique capacity to deal with poisons. So there are deep emotions associated with this nakshatra, and there can deep tears, both from inspiration and samsara, and sorrow, samsaro. There's great destruction that clears the way for new things. This nakshatra also, it has this affiliation with natural resources because of Rudra, and people with placements in Ardra they're often people who utilize natural resources in some way, like miners or oil drillers, and if they don't replenish nature, they can eventually begin to experience the curse of Bhuma and suffer a great fall in life. It's like their luck can mysteriously go away from lack of nourishing the earth, and because Ardra people tend to really like machines, they can also really love machines. They can have very strong personal relationships with machines, but there can be a certain kind of, the destructiveness of machines enters in. So they have to pay attention to nourishing things as well. As healers, they tend to be great. They're good abstract thinkers, good intuitives. Themes associated with this nakshatra includes having a deep or serious child and having a huge difficulty between the parent and child of the same sex. Because of the Brahma Shiva theme, there can be huge conflict between a parent and a child of the same sex. And because of the outsider theme, Ardra people often leave their families of origin or head in a very, very different direction from their families of origin. There can be mysterious or exotic paternity themes, paternity questions, illegitimate children, things that push people more to this feeling like an outsider in their society. And children, strong Ardra people may often overshadow their parents. They may go beyond where their parents went. Problems with names, people who have weird names, multiple names, issues around names, exasperated parents, sadness, anger, rage, a theme of abandonment and betrayal, and a desire to leave any kind of confinement. Ardra people can struggle to be independently employed, but they usually want to be, and there can often be a feeling of wanting to run away from it all, wanting to let it all go and become like Rudra and live free from social constraints. Intensity is there, a love and a need for solitude is there, and as we said, a healing power is often also there. So Ardra people don't tend to be easygoing people, and they often don't have it easy either. Back to Julian Assange, who we discussed previously. He has Sun in Ardra, and clearly some of those themes are playing out in his life. Other Ardra people,